Good morning, good evening, good day. My name is London Electricity. This is the Hospital Podcast, and this is the brand new single from me.
I've been on my way down. I've been living with the lights out, getting troubled by the idle sounds of the day to day. I know I let you down. I did nothing to protect you. Didn't know how much you went through, and now it's too late. I wish I did more to love you. I wish I did more to keep you safe. And if I only could, I'd build a better world for you.
Ema Deneen on vocals. Massive shout to Ema.
You're struggling, sitting in your cold water. I wish I was fighting for you, keeping you close in that lonely walk. 'Cause I don't wanna see you hurt or struggling, sitting in your cold water. I wish I was fighting for you, keeping you close in that. I wish I did more to love you. I wish I did more to keep you safe. And if I only could, I'd build a better world for you, because you are.
And Building Better Worlds is out on the 24th of October. You can pre-order it from tomorrow, Friday the 26th of October. If you want the limited edition box set vinyl thingy, then I suggest that you do, because it's a very special book that features all of the photographs taken by my good friend Ben Beach. There's one photograph that accompanies each track. It's in the form of a book, and I write a chapter about each track. It's got clear vinyl. Have a look on the Hospital Records website, hospitalrecords.com. Take a look at it. It's rather special.
Of a better place. I wish I did more to love you. I wish I did more to keep you safe. And if I only could, I'd build a better world for you.
And the album also features my very own son, the Secretary General, who has collaborated with Inja, no less. And it also features Sydney B, the amazing soprano, on Final View from the Rooftops, that I'm going to play at the end of the podcast. And a tune that I really can't wait to play you. It's the first tune that I've done with Elsa Esmeralda of Just 1 Second fame. I'll be able to play you that towards the release date. Now, I realised as I was preparing this podcast that I hadn't actually played you my tune on the Hospital vs Jetstar album. I don't know how that happened, but this is my remix of none other than Horace Andy, Skylarking. And I asked for a few shouts from all of you about people who've helped you. The first one in was from no less than DJ TB, who said, big shout out to DJ Hype for taking me to his gig at Laserdome when Hopper introduced me to him back in 1994. It was life-changing. And he says, at that point, I had no tunes to my name. That's a wicked way to start your career. Mitch Ross says, big shout to Fabio and Groove Rider and Radio 1 for bringing drum and bass to the airwaves back in the day to a Highland boy. Also a shout to you and the team for continuous killers 20 plus years later. Life affirming big love. This is brand new Makoto, who has made a collaboration album. Each track is with a different artist or set of artists. And this is Morning Sunrise that features Danny Wheeler. Shouts going out to Christian Kaislinger, who says, please give Moiki a big shout out. He was there for me when I was down and I had the worst time in my life. He also introduced me to drum and bass, and we saw you performing live in Tübingen, Germany. Yes, I remember that gig. I was behind a pillar the whole time. Cheers from Vancouver in Canada. David Neagle says, shout out to High Contrast. I was walking through HMV during some really dark days and they were playing Fabric Live 25 mixed by him. It was like a light came on and the shop assistant suggested that I should check out Hospital Records as I was buying it. D&B has been with me through all of life's ups and downs ever since, and it's given me moments of musical joy that have helped me through some tough times. So thank you High Contrast for triggering all of this and opening the door to hospital for me, and all the fantastic music that's come my way since then. That is lovely. That is why we do what we do. Meryl Kerr Hepburn says, thanks Tony for all the podcasts. Shout out to my son Freddie and wife Sam. Let's have some more Morning Sunrise. We're going old school now. I think this is back to 2014. An artist who I would love to return to hospital. He goes under the name of Rezo. He's not really making drum and bass anymore, but this is very appropriately titled Coming Back to You. Shout out from Chris Spencer, who says, Tony, I just bought the Jetstar compilation and my mind is completely blown. I was a reggae fan first and foremost before I discovered drum and bass, and then I discovered it and lost focus on reggae because of hospital. I found logistics, new tone and high contrast, and so many over the years. I was into Forever and graphics tracks before they were a duo even. Well, they're not a duo anymore, they're now solo. I was a promoter that brought Danny Bird on his first US tour to Buffalo, New York. Anyway, long story. Props to all you and all you've done, and definitely always I will have the utmost respect for you and this label. There were moments when I doubted it, and it was interesting. We had a little conversation about that online, about when he doubted it, and it turned out it was during the time when EDM started to get its ugly black painted fingernails into our drum and bass, but we soon got rid of it and then he came back. Anyway, I'm truly grateful to your contribution to what I consider the centre of my life, drum and bass. Does anybody even remember EDM? Because I don't ever hear anyone saying that anymore, apart from men in suits who think it's still a thing. That's an interesting topic, actually. Ian Appropriate says, big shout out to you, Tony Ladd, bringing the beats and spreading the love, keeping me sane for nearly 20 years. You see, the way it works, Ian, is I keep you sane while I gradually go insane. It's like a trade-off. Not really, but it sometimes feels like that. Maybe I need to find a me. Shout out to Paul Carson, who says, I love my wife Lynn and our 3 kids for putting up with all the D&B in the house and the car. They are extremely understanding. Paul from Belfast. This tune though. I just love it so much. Alex Rezo, please come back. Now, I know I've played this before, but it's so outstandingly brilliant that I have to play it again. It's The Whole Part 1 by Noisia. It's the first D&B tune to be made in the 17/8 time signature, and yet it's so brilliantly produced that people dance to it, even though they don't know where to put their feet. It's fantastic to play out. And if you're a DJ and you love listening to this, but you're too scared to play it out, don't be. This bit. And also talking to DJs here, Noisia have been very, very kind, and if you search, you'll be able to find a little point where you can put your marker, and from then on it's kind of 16, so it's easier to mix out. You just got to be brave. Mixing into something so classic and old and amazing and beautiful. This is Real Good by DJ Marquis.
Hey, it's feeling real good, baby. Hey, it's feeling real good, baby.
I tried. It doesn't get any summary than this. Summary is now a word, and I will be pulling this out when I play at Hospitality in the Park, of course. Saturday, 21st of September 2019. We're now on 5th release tickets. It's not long before it sells out. Absolutely huge lineup, including but not limited to Camo and Cookie, Danny Bird, Dex, Flavor D, D&B Set, Fred V, Lens, London, Electricity, Makoto, Metric, Q Hardy, New Logic. That was in alphabetical order on our stage. And about 7 other stages. Shouting from Sean Courtney, who says, "Hi Tony, I just wanted to say how amazing this year's releases have been between merch and the music. It's been a real pleasure enjoying everything Hospital has been releasing. Jetstar meets Hospital is amazing." I always thought my raving years were long gone, but as it turns out, life can be really strange. I separated from my partner of 18 years, and then I randomly ran into an old friend on the train back from the office. We'd always been good friends years before losing touch, but I suppose timing was right. And, as luck would have it, she had tickets and on-site accommodations to the Defected event in Tisno. It wasn't hospitality, but give and take makes everything better, actually. To make a long story short, we're now heading to Tisno again, but this time for hospitality next year. As always, thanks for the music that's always been a part of my life and is soon to be a part of hers. Sure, that sounds like romance is in the air, mate. I'm looking forward to meeting you both in 2020 in Croatia.
It's feeling real good, baby.
I do believe it was Xerxes at the controls for this tune for Marky. He has to be name checked. Responsible for production. Marky for the vibes. And Hayden says, yeah, Tony, shouts out from New Zealand. Only a few weeks ago, I decided to see family on my own for quality solo time. As kids have got to the teenage years, well, we could do with that right now, I'll tell you. Thought, oh well, if I'm in the UK, what's on the music events list? First place or thing that I typed into Google was hospital record events. And bang, this came up. Man, I was excited and I booked 2 tickets, 4th release. For the park, yes! Big man. Like to give shouts out to some old ravers and hope to see them at the park. Jezza Skull, who's coming with me, plus Dan Mitchell, a DJ like myself who loves D&B, Smiley Joe Hawkins, Ashley and Sarah, my sister. You got 2 sisters, that's amazing. They're both one sister. That's weird. Robbo Rob and Reggae Man Andrew, who would love to come but is unable to, and anyone else who knows Elvis, okay, aka Hayden Wardley. I see you at the park 2019. You see, in these days, right, this tune's not only got a 64 bar intro, which you didn't hear, it's also got about an 85 bar outro, which is extremely handy. This is brand new music by one of my favourite new producers at the moment. We released a track by him 2 years ago on Med School. This is not on Hospital, it's on a different label, but that doesn't matter because it's still brilliant. It's Natus and it's a tune called Our God Reigns. Now, whilst I have to, at this point, say I don't personally believe in organised religion, however, I respect everyone's right to do so. But more importantly, this track is an absolute stonker. It's wicked. Check out the classical composition. This is what we're talking about when we say classical drum and bass. Shouting from Matt Ziu, who says, Tony, can I get a shout to you? Yes, you can get a shout to me. That's very kind of you. And also to Brady School in Canberra, Australia. Big shout, Matt. Oh, this is a sad one. Shout going out to Swanvest, long-time fan, for missing podcast 400 boat tickets. Listen, if anyone got tickets for the boatcast, for podcast 400, and can't go, personally message me, okay, on probably Instagram's the best way. Personally message me and I'll make sure that Swanvest gets them. If you want him to have them, I think he deserves them. Having a kind of like a major podcast without Swanvest there, it's a bit like having Christmas without your most annoying uncle who's already got drunk before he turns up. It sort of becomes a tradition, and when it doesn't happen, you miss it. Yes, Jason, we love you. We do, actually. Shout out to, you know, this whole mental health in music thing has really grown now, and I really support it. There's a few people who are treating it a bit like a bandwagon, and I know that I got into mindfulness about a year ago or 2 years ago or something. However, there is something worrying me about it. That it's basically opium for the people. And that it's kind of designed, it's good, it does help in certain respects. It still helps me sometimes, but if you're not careful, it can kind of keep you going in the cycle of modern capitalism, sort of like tolerating the right wing because it's okay, I do mindfulness, I'm alright. So I'd say get the benefits from it, but be mindful about it. Just be careful you're not being brainwashed, that's all. Incoming, brand new music from Logistics. It's entitled Rhythm Track. And every broadcast I've done recently, I've said to Nikki, our promo manager, anything you want me to play by Logistics? And she always says, yeah, can you play Rhythm Track? I don't know why. Maybe no one else is playing it, but I love it. Whoa! No, that's totally getting a reload. Okay. Rhythm Track by Logistics. This takes me back to Colour Wheel. Who remembers Colour Wheel by Logistics? In particular, the Friction and KT remix of Colour Wheel, which is kind of like a VIP, only a bit more rugged. Amazing. Soon come, no release date yet, but watch out for it. Then you turn it up a notch, cause me want it on a level. Me want to hear the bassline and beat with the treble. And instead of you lot thanking me for keeping you positive, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for keeping me positive, for actually listening to this in your thousands. It's been an amazing journey. Bit of a tune, eh? Got to give a shout out to the man like Danny Bird who had me on his show, his very last show for Radio 1. Big honour for me. The banter level is always extremely high between Danny and me. And obviously all of the chat sections became, well, heavily edited by the BBC because we talked about politics. We mentioned Brexit. Shall I go into it? Maybe actually I've got an oblique and kind of surreal way of thinking about Brexit that's just come to me from this track that's coming in. Now this, of course, it's another classic. I'm really enjoying digging up some classics for this podcast. This is the Urban Dawn VIP remix of Waves Breaking by Muffler, which was always one of my favourite tunes on Hospital. And Urban Dawn just added an extra ingredient. But the title makes me think, we don't matter. Because actually we're all going to die. But the waves are never, ever going to stop breaking. Let's just hope Boris Johnson dies first. You see, I'm allowed to say that because this podcast is completely free. I don't know, maybe death's a little bit too good. Maybe hemorrhoids are like so serious that he actually treads on them when he walks. That would be something to behold. Oh yes, I'm darling, my girlfriend who I left my wife for, and you're much younger than me. I'm just going to go and shoot some foxes, and ow, damn it! What did I do to deserve these bloody hemorrhoids? Well, Boris, there's still time. I want to give a shout out to the hospital shop department because they are absolutely amazing. I don't know if you've noticed how much everything that we do on our web shop has improved over the last year. Not just the physical music products, but the shirts, the jumpers, the stickers, the bits and pieces, everything. It's gone up so many levels. So Ollie, who is our chief merch designer, and Lopez David from Barcelona, who manages and runs our web shop and is also an amazing designer. You are both extraordinarily brilliant people. Incoming, some very, very old caliber that sounds very, very new. I said, This is Bleep, and I don't even know if this ever came out. It probably did on a Shelf Life album. If it didn't, it should do. Oh yeah. Shane from Paul Courtney, who says, Tony, just a message to say how much I love your podcast and D&B. Been listening to drum and bass since the early 90s, and I used to travel to Dreamscapes and United dances back in the day. I find it hard to go to anything like that now, as I have my young children at the weekends to look after, Hayden and Cameron. They listen to your podcast with me, and they would love a shout out. Okay, shout out number 1. Hayden, this is for you. And shout out number 2, Cameron, this shout is for you. They love it. Anyway, was just speaking to my cousin, James Holmes. Hi, James Holmes. And he was saying that we should come to hospital in the park. It's hospitality in the park, actually, which I would love to, but it'd be very difficult. So I said, how about if you came to us? So how about a hospitality on the farm in Suffolk, Tony? Because he lives in a farm, this guy, James Holmes. Would you be up for that? Lol. Now, I was kind of getting into it until the lol. James Holmes. And I'm not sure now. That just gives me loads and loads of very scary images. Anyway, Paul, thank you. That was a very entertaining shout out. Incoming, more classic music from Danny Bird. This is Planet Music. I'm going to stay in the classic zone for a little bit. Woo! Yes, Danny. Shout in from someone called Van City Valkyrie. Yes, I got it right. Please give a huge shout out to Boggles. He was there for me in my hardest time so far, and I couldn't have kept my chin up without his help. Sorry, that was quite tricky. I couldn't have done it without him. You see, when you're reading things on the fly, you tend to read 2 lines ahead, and sometimes you get the lines all mixed up. At least I do. Bojanjar says, big shout to myself. Ooh, hark at you. I got through a very bad situation, but now I'm healing and living a dream. Yes, mate, well done. I take it all back. I thought you were just being all kind of big-headed, but quite clearly you pulled yourself through something on your own, which is quite amazing. And Hamp the drummer. Now, Hamp, I need to tell you something. Your Instagram name, I don't know how to break this to you really, but it looks like Hump the drummer. Just thought you should know that. He says, shout out comes from Hampton in Denver, Colorado, to my parents in North Carolina and my sister in Hawaii. Without their push and support, I would never have started my own adventure in life. And a special thanks to you, London Electricity, for being a complete idiot about my... No. But for long days were made easier with your music and the podcast. Thank you, London Elec. Did you notice my family show gland kicked in then? I was about to go all old school. Actually, if you want to hear the old school podcasts where I had no family show gland because I had no family, they're all on Spotify. Yes, from the Syncopated City album, or was it the Power Ballads album? I don't care, but it was by me, London Electricity, It's Will to Love, and I've given it a little tickle, a May 2019 mixdown. And I resisted the temptation to make the snare loud. It's just nice. Right, Leanne, tell us all about it.
You can run away, just run away, but it's obvious you're fake as any Valentine's Day. And I need no more of your Hollywood smile, sweet talk, cheap cars, just not my style, baby, not my style.
Absolutely. And a shout in from Womb Psych DMB MX, who says, shouts out for the missed but never forgotten genius Sir Marcus Intellects. Absolutely. I certainly would have made this tune without him, that's definite.
You can smile away, just smile away in the haven of your sleep. You're a king for a day.
Nicked his break, didn't I?
And I said,
No, I didn't really. Honestly, I didn't.
heart gone, watching you like the saddest June.
It was Zinc. We call it sharing in drum and bass. It's all about sharing. For those of you who are wondering why I got my sticky fingers back onto Will to Love, it's because I want to play out a lot of my old tunes, but they were produced in such a manner that they just didn't stand up to today's tunes. So the task at hand was to maintain their original kind of like intent and flavour and subtlety, but with today's technology make them a little bit more kind of full and warm.
How can it be? You say the fault lies with me when black and blue. It's all been down to you and all the time. You say our love is divine with each blow. You reinforce what I've always known. What I've always known.
Really wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it did. The amazing Fred V, Really Happy Aliens. It's out right now on Hospital Records. You need this track in your life, believe me. From Hugh Hardy's album, that is absolutely flying off the shelves. We'll keep having to repress it. This is my favourite tune. I haven't played it yet. It's called Evening Red. And it wasn't until I saw Flavor D playing it out that I realised how good it was. It's a classic. Shade from Liam Phillip, who says, hello Tony, I hope you're well. I'm a huge lover of the podcast and I'm locked in every week. I'm a D&B lover and DJ from the UK, currently out in Australia. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be cycling from Cairns to Sydney to raise money for the Great Ormond Street Hospital, the Adam Brooks Hospital and Mind Mental Health Charity. To put it into perspective how far this is, it's from London to Glasgow and back 3.5 times. I'm impressed. I was wondering if I could get a shout out to help spread awareness of what I'm doing and also give me some well-needed motivation, as I'm so sure that I'll be listening to the next few podcasts while on the bike. And here's some links to my fundraising page. So many thanks, Liam, aka DJ Filthy Philp. And Liam has a Just Giving page, which is justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Liam-Philp, PHILP. It's a brilliant cause. Good luck on your journey. Enjoy yourself. Don't get too many punches, especially the back wheel. Yes, Hugh, killed it. And some events talk now. Hospitality on the Beach 2020. Okay, so we put the first wave of tickets on sale and they sold out in 1 hour. and that's it. There's no more tickets on sale. However, you can register for general release current tickets, and that registration is currently live. It doesn't mean you can buy the tickets, but you can register for them. Also, and if you can, you need to get to this, go and see High Contrast live at Heaven, one of my favourite venues in the world. Brilliant live band, the High Contrast live band, not big band as it says here on my podcast notes. Thursday the 28th of November.
Take it off.
Yes, I have played this before, but it doesn't matter because it is too brilliant not to play at least twice, if not 3 times.
Take it off.
Bop and Subwave. Take it off.
Take it off. Maybe take it off. Take it off. Maybe take it off.
It's all about the maybe.
Take it off. Maybe take it off. Take it off. Maybe take it off. Take it off. Maybe.
Tune is an architectural tune. It occupies a very large amount of space while simultaneously occupying almost no space whatsoever.
Take it off. Take it off.
And just about when you're going to go, yeah, I've heard that tune now, I'm going to mix the next one in, because it ain't going to do anything different, is it? Nah, it's just going to keep going, like, take it off and that. This happens.
Maybe I wanna live my life forever. I need to move on, cause I like you no longer. Move on so I can be stronger forever. I wanna live my life forever. I need to move on, cause I like you no longer. Move on so I can be stronger forever. Take it off.
I've realised what it is. I thought it was just infatuation, that I was completely infatuated with this tune. But it's more than that.
Take it off.
I actually fancy it.
Take it off.
And I didn't realise it was possible to fancy a piece of music.
Maybe take it off. Take it off.
I've got no idea what that says about me.
Take it off.
Don't really care.
Take it off. Maybe take it off. Take it off. Maybe take it off.
The sounds of Chase and Status featuring IRA. This is Program.
Them no want to roll with no pagan. Every jungle is a champion. Everybody don't know the program. Boy could have big and thick like Hulk Hogan. But if it this bitch I know where my big one. Boy could have big and thick like Hulk Hogan. But if it this bitch I know where my big. Boy could have big and thick like Hulk Hogan. But if it this bitch I know where my big one. Every jungle is a champion. Everybody don't know the program. Well, if I were bumbo, we'll make it start up. Bumbo rascal, what if I pick clot up? Well, if I were bumbo, well, come tell me no. I see the big Macky level, no shallow no. Him a no bad man, I must say madman. Bout if I a gunshot a dead program. But them not know man, cause a cargan. Fly them blood clot, that it a me slogan. Say them want link with the general. Say them want the high grade medical. Them no want to move with no boy where you move like snitch and I move like federal. Say them want to roll with the gargan. Them no want to roll with no pagan. Every jungle is a champion. Everybody don't know the program. Me I tell you no, gunshot Carella no.
A little bit of gig news for me actually. If you live in China or in the vicinity, there I know it's quite big. I'm playing 5-hour sets in Shanghai on the 12th of September, Shenzhen on the 13th of September, and Beijing on the 14th of September. Then, of course, on the 21st, I should have just about recovered for Hospitality in the Park. 28th of September is World of Drum and Bass in Moscow. 4th of October is Hospitality in Sheffield. October the 12th is my album launch. I don't even know if that's been announced yet, and whether I should have announced it or not. Maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, it's not a gig, that's all I'm saying.
Everybody don't know the program. Well, if I were bumbo, we'll make it start up.
Oh my god, the god of sneezes got me then. On the 19th of October, Hospitality Bristol. It's going to be a big one. I will essentially be launching my album in a club at that gig. And then my album comes out on the 25th of October, and I'll be on a holiday. I was looking at the BA website, and they had this like sale that was going to expire in 4 hours. So I booked a package holiday for me and the kids, not realising that it was when my album came out. But there you go. You know, you can't have everything, can you?
Everybody don't know the program.
So I'll be in, I think it's Madeira. Absolute steal of a holiday, by the way. In Madeira when my album comes out. Annoying my family because I'll have to be on my phone and laptop. Just kind of sitting there hoping that someone's going to ask me for an interview. I might get one. Oh, please, can I have another show? Please have me back. This is Final View from the Rooftops, the first track on my new album. The album is called Building Better Worlds. And the reason this is the first track is it's really the beginning of the journey that you take, well, that I took when I was making the album. You're leaving a world. You climb to the highest roof you possibly can, the highest point, and you look over the whole city and you take it all in. And you get ready to say your goodbyes. And then you know it's time to move on, time to get into that boat and sail into the sky for lands unknown. You may never return. Or you may come back with a cargo of plunder. And some slaves. No, not slaves, obviously, or Viking plunder. No, I didn't mean that. You might come back with lots of people of completely equal stature to you, who are the same as you. And they want to come and help you make your original old world, the one that you were standing on the roof of, a better place. I'll stop now. Massive shout to Sydney B on the whistling and the vocals. So when I play this tune out, and I do believe it or not, at this point, okay, this is an indicator of whether the audience are with me or whether I've lost them. If they're with me, they all put their arms up and kind of like go mad. If I've lost them, they'll go to the bar. So it's quite a handy indicator to sort of let me know how I'm doing. My name is London Elektricity. My album is out at the end of October. It's called Building Better Worlds. And thank you for being on the journey. The next podcast is going to take place on a boat on the River Thames, and it's going to be podcast 400. So I shall see you then. And no, I'm not going to ask you what I'm going to play. I'm going to decide myself.